With one chord shape, you know over 10 different chords. Watch this. One of the great things about the guitar is how with just one chord shape, your knowledge of chords goes through the roof. Here's the B minor chord shape that we learned in a previous lesson, and there's a link in the description for that lesson down below. This shape here is an example of a movable chord shape, and what I mean is quite literally you can move it up and down the fretboard, and immediately this opens up your playing world. The shape comes from this A minor position here, and it's in the open position. And the A minor in this position uses the first finger, the second finger, and the third finger. Now, if we want to play the B minor, we have to move it up 2 frets. 1, 2, like so. But we also need to take this part of the guitar with us, so that comes up 1, 2. And this part here is called the nut. Now, in order to have this part here, this is why we changed the shape, changed the fingering, and we now have the first finger is now acting as the nut on the 2nd fret. The second finger is on the 3rd fret of the B, or the 5th string, and the 4th finger is on the 4th fret of the G, or the 3rd string, and the 3rd finger is now on the 4th fret of the D string, or the 4th string. So let's look now what chords we can play with this shape, and we'll just move it up to the 5th fret. So starting at the open position, we have the A minor chord. At the 1st fret, and also changing the fingering, we have the A sharp minor or B flat minor chord. At the 2nd fret, we have our old favourite, the B minor. At the 3rd fret, we have C minor. At the 4th fret, we've got C sharp minor or D flat minor. And finally at the 5th fret, we reach D minor. Okay, now as you saw on the 1st fret, we had A sharp minor and B flat minor. And at the 4th fret, we had C sharp minor and D flat minor. Now, let's not complicate a simple lesson with theory. Just know that if you see that written out on a piece of music, it's the same chord. So if you see A sharp minor or B flat minor, it's at the 1st fret. If you see C sharp minor or D flat minor, it's at the same fret, it's at the 4th fret. Okay, so let's do this together, okay? We'll do 5 bars at 4/4 time. The first bar will be A minor, the second bar will be A sharp minor or B flat minor, and the third will be C minor, then C sharp minor, D flat minor, and then finally at the 5th fret, the D minor. So watch me, I'm just going to demonstrate this and then we'll have a go together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now together. But before we do, we have to remember one thing about this chord shape, especially at the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th frets. Remember, you can't play the E, the low E string, or the A string together. Otherwise you'll have some pretty horrible notes. All right, so when you're playing it at the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th or 5th, try to avoid playing those strings. And one of the simplest ways to do that is for the thumb, as you can see there, the thumb to be just resting on the string, like that. And you will have the, what's that finger there? The 3rd finger, just touching lightly the 5th string, the A string. So you've got that, right? It's kind of dampened a little bit there, all right? And so you will have and not. Ugh. And the other thing you can try to do is be more controlled with your strumming hand. Me being right-handed, it'll be my right hand. Okay, so let's do this together, starting with A minor in the open position, moving all the way up to the 5th fret. Strumming just on the first beat of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's look at a classic chord progression, the turnaround in E, which uses 4 chords: E, C sharp minor, A and B. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 chords, E, A and B we've seen before, and there's a link in the description down below you can check out later. And we've got C sharp minor, which is our new chord, and it's at the 4th fret. Okay, the 4th fret. Now the turnaround is a progression we have looked at before. It's very common in those great doo-wop songs and loads of rock and roll songs from the 50s and 60s and 70s. Mud's Lonely This Christmas uses the chord progression in the chorus. Okay, so we're going to do it together. Now I'm not expecting you to get it right immediately. It's going to take time, a whole lot of precious time, patience and time even. So, you know, don't get down if it doesn't come together in the first few days. Give it time, okay? And practice, practice, practice. So a little tip though, going from the E to the C sharp minor, one of the things that you can do is use the 3rd finger, this finger here, which is on the 2nd fret of the D string or the 4th string. You can use that as an anchor, okay? You can, as you're about to change, you can leave it there and you're going to slide all the way up to the 6th fret, okay? And then you're going to put the rest of the shape down. And the same will apply if you're going in reverse. You can use that finger as your anchor and slide back down and then put the rest of the shape on around it. So here we go. Are you ready to play? We're going to do it nice and slowly, and we're going to go through the progression together 2 times. So E, C sharp minor, A, B, E, C sharp minor, A, B, and then we'll finish on the E chord. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a brief introduction to movable chords, and we'll do a lot more in the future. So I'll see you in the next lesson. But don't forget to hit those notification buttons, like buttons, subscribe buttons, etc., to stay up to date with future content. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.